This week's episode takes us up 40,000 feet in the air as we touch down in Charleston, South Carolina, where we will collab at Taddock Cat Shop and step up to the challenge as we work on Sagola's 2024 SEMA truck build. Wow, well, we just made it to the shop and we are here to get started on this Sagola SEMA project. We're gonna go talk with Kat for a second. We're gonna talk about the truck, and then we're gonna take a look at all these cool colors and different designs that's gonna be going on it. But God, this place is just really cool. So let's go see if Kat's ready for us, and we'll check it out. We're here at the shop. Let's head into the paint booth and see what we got going on today. All right, here we are. Wow, look at this thing. Wow, Kat, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
What is going on, man? How are you?
Good. What is this, a 2019, 18?
This is a 2018 F-250 Lariat.
Now, you're the perfect person for this because this is a Sagola build. And we all know Kat as a Sagola, the best Sagola painter that's out there. I will say that much.
Stop now.
I don't want to make you feel too good. So, last night you taped this off. And what exactly are we going to be doing today? I know a few of us are going to be working on this. What is my part and what is your part today?
Okay, so you came in at a perfect time. I wanted to get this thing taped up and ready because now we get to do something fun, something that most people don't get a chance to do, and that is play with crystals and chemistry. Okay, so
this paint job here is not going to be done today. So what would come after what we're going to be doing, after the crystal effects? You have to do like a skull or something?
I'm going to end up doing a giant Sagola gear skull over here, and then some more, graphics here and there inside of this section while it's masked up. So
this is exactly what's going on today. I mean, take a look at what she did all the time. She said it took her all night or all day yesterday to mask it up.
I got about 10 hours in the masking process. That's fine line.
10 hours. And I was telling her, look at this fine line tape. It hasn't even moved. And she says she heats it up after, which is an awesome trick to kind of stay in its spot.
Oh, FBS, in my opinion, there's no better.
What is that, FPS?
FBS tapes.
Oh, God. I've never seen tape stick like this the next day. I know in Florida we have a lot of humidity issues, but man, this is looking really good. Now, Kat already told me that she took the whole entire truck and she put a coated clear coat on it so that the graphics will have a better adhesion or the...
Okay, so with the crystal mixture, it is a water-based mixture. And it only likes to be applied over sanded, clean, clear coat. If it's base coat or anything else, it'll separate on you like water does, and it just doesn't work. So this is what we needed for it.
So much preparation has already gone into this truck, and we couldn't just go into sanded clear coat because it's not a brand new truck. It had some issues on it maybe that needed to be cleaned up, chips or dents or scratches. So let's go into the shop and take a look at some of the paints that we're going to spray, and then we're going to get right into what we're going to do today. All right, so we got our paint. We're ready to go. What do we have here?
Okay, so it's not a paint.
Okay.
It is pretty much just it's a water-based mixture. It only takes 3 ingredients, and everybody can make this. It's pretty easy. One is distilled water. The other is urea, which is just a fertilizer. And then you can use dish soap, a couple of drops of dish soap, but I like Oxgel liquid. All this is it helps watercolors, spread smoother. I don't like using soap because it can get kind of foamy, and I just don't like the way it reacts. So what we're going to do here is we're going to mix 1-to-1 with the urea and this distilled water, and then we're going to do 10% of our Oxgel liquid. And that's it.
All right, let's mix it up and get it into the booth. Distilled water, huh?
That's it.
Interesting.
Fill the container. Put your hand on the container.
Cold.
It gets ice cold.
Oh, it's getting colder.
Yep.
So when those chemicals mix, it's got like a reaction that, for whatever reason,
It does.
Oh, it's cold. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because somebody had asked me one time, they're like, can I heat the water up to make it dissolve better? I'm like, well, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good.
All right, so we're ready to get started. So you got me a sponge. It's just going to be easy, right?
Got you a sponge. I only have medium gloves. You look like you have big old gorilla hands. So
yeah.
I don't know if you want to try to squeeze into
those.
These
are XL, but is it going to hurt me?
No. So the good thing about this is it is...
Look at that condensation on there.
Yeah,
freezing.
It's ice cold.
Wow. Okay.
But you could actually drink this. I wouldn't recommend it.
You don't want to do it?
I mean, it's biodegradable and completely safe. They do make some other chemicals to get some kind of the same reaction, but they're very harsh. I don't like them. So
okay.
That's why I do this.
So we're sponge painting.
So what we're gonna do is
Okay.
we're gonna go back to kindergarten. We're
Okay.
gonna get our sponge semi-wet, and then all we're gonna do.
So what is this exactly doing?
All right. So what this is gonna do is the distilled purified water and the urea. What happens is the urea, as this dissolves, the urea starts creating these little crystals. I am not a chemist. I don't know how it works. I just know that it does work. The oxygen liquid that's inside, that just helps the crystals travel across the surface of the water.
Got it.
If we didn't have that, it would just be actually on the surface of the paint and it wouldn't work.
Right.
So what it's actually doing is the urea sits on top of the water and the oxygen just helps it travel.
All right, so let's do it. And just wipe it down like I'm wiping a panel.
Just wipe it. You want to try to get it as wet as you can, so if it drips and stuff,
okay,
no big deal.
All right. I don't want to mess this one up.
Let me tell you what. This is the one part of the process that you cannot mess up.
Oh, man.
How hard you try.
Oh, okay. I think I can do it. It's like washing a car.
That's it.
All right. I can do this.
Just don't miss no spots.
Don't miss any spots. All right, I got this. And just finishing up here. Now, I didn't put gloves on, and, well, I can feel it. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to let you finish it up.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not going to hurt you.
No. Just going to burn you just a little bit.
But I think you know what it feels like to have crystals form on your hand.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going on there.
A new experience.
The reaction.
I didn't really understand what was supposed to happen until we actually see it dry. It's creating crystals here.
So what we're looking for are these crystals right here. And as it dries, they will become hard white crystals. And what we'll do is we'll take our color and we'll dust it. It doesn't take very much. Just a light dust. Then we'll wash the crystals away. And that'll leave us our pattern.
Beautiful. All right, now we're about, I would say, an hour outside of that initial application, and this is what it's starting to do. Guys, let me tell you, with humidity, this really slows down the process. Kat was telling me that if it had not been as humid, it probably would have already been crystallized at this point, but I mean, take a look at that. That is so sick. That is so sick. I never knew how custom paint was done like this. I mean, just that solution right there, the whole hood. She says as it turns white, that really is a sign that it's completely ready to go. See, in some areas it's turning white, others are just a little bit lighter still, but we're getting some pretty good progress here. We still have some wet spots that are drying, but I'm liking the way that it's looking. But let's take a look at Kat's shop real quick and see what else she has in the shop. And of course, we got the new 4600s, and of course, it has the Sagola disposable cup system on all of them. So, oh, look at this. You really got them all. This is one of my favorite right here.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. And then look at this. Yep. That's one thing I like about having these Sagolas, because they do come out with the different editions every so often. And when they're out, they're just too cool not to have. Let me see right here. Is this a mini?
Here you go.
A mini right there. Oh yeah. This is it. La Katrina. That is a bad looking gun.
That was my first Sagola gun right
This
there.
is a lot of people's first Sagola gun, and let me tell you, this is the gun that got you hooked on Sagola if you originally sprayed it back then. This gun is a Terminator. And this is the DVR Titania.
Yeah, that's the Titania.
This lays it a lot flatter, right? This thing is.
Oh, I love the Titania.
This thing is sick.
So the equivalent to the Titania now is the Clear Pro.
Ah, okay. So I see what they did. And then
There you go.
oh, this is the black. I don't have this one. This one is sick.
That one wasn't available here in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Now this is the first paint line that I ever sprayed, and when it left the shop, I gotta tell you, I felt bad. The only thing though I did not miss are these little bottles. That's the only thing, the little squeeze bottles. That's the only thing I didn't miss. Other than that, just a great overall system. I see that it's changed a lot. I see that the numbers are what they used to be. They're similar, but just overall a nice, awesome paint system. There's a couple more projects in the shop I'll show you guys, but we'll go ahead and check those out now. And Kat, this is another one of your projects that you're working on. What have you done on the inside? Look at that. Wow.
So this is a 85 C10 that I'm building for a gentleman that's in Georgia, and I'm really doing what I do. I'm taking a design out of my head, and
so you body worked for all the inside.
Yes.
Of this to flatten. You blocked all that out.
So yeah, all the body work I did myself, inside, outside. I didn't do the metal work. I've got a gentleman that's here in town that is amazing at doing the metal work. And
the inside of this is flatter than most people's cars on the outside.
And this hasn't been wet sand and polished.
And it doesn't need to.
It's going to.
Okay, all right.
It's still going to.
But look at the detail. I mean, between the bed liner, the wheel wells, and you got a little Louis Vuitton in there.
Yeah. So I like the contrast of the gloss and the satin together.
Right.
And I really like how they play off of each other. And I felt like they just kind of go together. Like the gloss is an overlay.
Right.
Of the satin.
Wow.
And you know, I like to run with ideas.
Super, super cool. Now I can't wait to see the rest of this truck. Look at that, even where you don't see, huh? Everything completely painted. I love that. And what is that paint?
So this is a custom color from the Spray Source.
Okay.
My buddy Tommy over at the Spray Source came up with this color. It's called Cognac.
Wow.
We actually started with
beautiful.
A ruby red.
Right.
And added more gold, a little bit of green, and came up with this absolutely beautiful, beautiful color. So.
Absolutely stunning. Now I know you got a couple other things I want you to show me when we head over to the other shop and take a look. And this is Kat's personal car. Now she said she paints it once a year.
I try to paint it once a year. I haven't had a chance this year.
Look at this. Look at the shine on this. Look at the graphics. And let me tell you something. You cannot touch or feel any of these lines, anything. And look at all in here. It's got the Cat. If you can see, it kind of ghosted in there. And this thing, not even buffed. It's super clean, super smooth. Did it right here at her own shop. This is what Paint Society is all about. Just really showing the talents of other painters out there. This thing is super cool. I didn't even, when I pulled up to the shop, I had an idea exactly where it was just by looking at this Mustang.
Yeah, most people, I just tell them, I'm like, look for the Mustang.
Looking for the Mustang. Look at this. And a couple other things in the shop she's working on. We'll take a look at those. And right before we put some paint on the truck, take a look at this project. This was in a magazine at one point. What is the magazine called?
So this was in a Street Truck magazine in the early 2000s.
I really miss those magazines. As a kid, I would go into Walmart, Publix, whatever it is, go right to the magazine aisle and check out those magazines. And that's what social media has kind of ruined. You know, those magazines that you go and flip through the pages and see everything. But this truck is going to be magazine worthy again. I know it because you've got something cool going on here, right? You're doing some graphics over on this side, and then you're going to unmask and do some more.
So the plan for this truck is, you can see this has got our crystal effect in the background,
yes,
but it's done a little different.
Yes, yes.
This one I did just a little, and that's the thing. What I love about the custom world is you can twist this stuff to your imagination's content.
Now, how do you do this? Do you have like a stencil for that?
So what I'll do is I'll use like a transfer paper.
Right.
And I'll put it on the vehicle, and then I'll draw my design on there, and then I'll start cutting it and, you know, doing sections at a time.
This is just amazing work.
So
completely.
all this will be buried under a red candy.
Oh wow! So it won't be as it'll be more subtle.
Right. It'll be very subtle.
Wow.
Then all this will be unmasked. I'll do some pinstriping, some darker graphics on the black and stuff like that. So.
Even into the roof, you're doing a little bit more. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna have to revisit once this is all done, give you an update on how everything looks. But for now, we're ready to go into the booth and put on some of that paint. All right, so we're ready for our paint now. We're gonna have two colors or two silvers that we're gonna be working with today. A lighter silver and a darker silver. And we're just gonna kind of go around and freestyle and put it where we need to, right?
Yeah, and these are just two colors straight off the Color Max. Just two that I chose. So
just two random colors that you feel it would be good.
Colors that
and do they match the Sagola signage, kind of like the logo, or they complement the truck more?
Actually, I can show you exactly where I got the inspiration for what I'm doing.
All right, let's take a little walk. So that's the airbrush, huh?
So this is the X-Tech 300. This is the airbrush that I use on all my stuff.
Wow.
But if you look at the boxes and see, it has something similar to what I'm trying to create. It's not exactly the same, but it's got the same feel. So whenever you look at this truck, I want everything about it to scream Sagola, Elko meter, you know.
Did you take the camera and do a camera reading of that?
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna look just like it. I love it. Kat's gonna make me mix some colors. So whenever you get a new paint system, you're like here for an hour. I know she probably knows exactly where it's at. Look at it's probably on the bottom now.
I'm gonna make him look for him.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Look at, she doesn't even paint because they're brand new. Remember when you get your toner system in and it's all brand new? All right. Don't mess this up, Brian. This is what you call talent. Recording and mixing at the same time. Let's see if I can get it down to nothing. Yeah. Your gallon's full here. All right.
Here we go. Oh, he's slowing down.
Slowing down, slowing down. Oh my God.
Oh my.
Paint job ruined.
That's coming out of your paint
Oh, but if I really cared, I'd take a little bit out with a paint stick. But I think it's gonna be fine.
That's fine.
Oh, it looks good enough to me. I pretty much had a perfect mix.
Yeah,
I had a perfect. I went over by like none on the reducer.
Perfect-ish.
Yeah, perfect for a first timer. How about that?
So this is probably going to be way more silver than we're going to use, but the good thing about being in a custom shop is this will not go to waste because I'll use it in my airbrush. And,
anywhere,
other jobs.
Just put a label on it. Look at that. That's nice.
So it's a nice clean silver, not too
matches the box perfect.
So
I love it.
Right.
I think we're ready. I think this is all crystallized by now, and we'll go ahead and see if I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get suited up. I've been waiting all day to get suited up. I've been telling Kat I'm ready. I finally fit into my paint suit. I'm ready to get suited up. I'm gonna go do that right now. Let's even got this going down the side. Look at that.
Heck yeah. Looking dapper.
Looking dapper. Even if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna look good while I'm doing it.
Dang right.
Let's go in there and spray some paint. So everything is completely crystallized at this point. You guys see that everywhere. Now this process actually took, I'm gonna tell you, about 2 hours for this to happen. A little bit longer because it's a little bit more humid in the actual paint booth, but it is completely crystallized, and this is the foundation that the paint is going to lie on. So let's go ahead and spray it on.
So I'm trying to get right around 18.
Okay,
that's
so
where I want to be.
Really low, yeah. And that's a dust on. All right. And
so that's as light as we're going to go.
And that's a 1.0 fluid tip?
This is a 1.0.
Okay.
The good thing about these guns is...
That's a mini, the mini
this
extreme.
Is a mini. Yeah. I can cut it all the way down to, let's say, that's about 5.
5. And still put it on, atomizing it.
It's still, it is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Wow. So we're not painting it.
No. So we're not going to be doing, all we're going to do is just kind of...
Here and there.
Yep.
I could do that. That doesn't seem too bad.
No rhyme or reason.
Just anywhere. Okay. It seems very beginner and amateurish, but you're gonna assure me in the end it's gonna look good, right? This is cool. This is fun. This is different. And I'm glad to be a part of it, to be honest. Now, we might not see the finished product today, but I promise you guys, if you really subscribe to Cat and you follow Sagola, you're going to see a lot more Sagola coolness coming along, and you'll be able to see this project getting finished. Nice. So now we have our darker color, and we're gonna kind of fill in the negative spaces. We're not gonna try to completely cover the black, but we're gonna kind of blend in some areas into that lighter silver. And this is, like, these two colors complement Sagola so well. That's what's gonna make this truck stand out so much, because it's gonna look just exactly like the signage that we're used to on Sagola, which I'm really, really happy to be a part of. Now, under some of this tape already, there's already orange. You can see some orange peeking out. That's because under some of these stripes, you're gonna see some of that Lamborghini orange. And when this tape is pulled off of this actual truck, it's gonna look good. You can see Cat just kind of coming in here. And this color is not as prominent as the lighter silver, but it's definitely there. And it's kind of lightly ghosted on those dead spots. So you can see the silver really popping off, but that darker metallic is kind of blended in just a little bit more with that black. All right, so it's all dry, the booth is off. What do you got, regular water there?
All right, so this is just plain, everyday old water out of the South Carolina, Charleston
Sink.
sink, yes. Yeah. Just tap water. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a sponge.
Same sponge, yeah.
Yeah, same sponge, just cleaned out. And I'm gonna wipe away the crystals. Now, a lot of people like to use the Scotch-Brite pad and stuff, but I find if you do that, you really start taking away from, you start wiping away the effect, the base coat.
Smooths it out, kind of. So this might take a little bit longer, you're saying, but it's a better result.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our humidity was a little crazy today, so
anywhere where it's a little bit flatter, you're gonna come in there and dust in some effect to kind of hide that smoothness.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of, we're gonna kind of even it out a little bit.
Right. So what I don't want folks to think is that this is a finished result, because what more do you have to do on this? We have a lot of work.
So yeah, there is a lot that goes into this. This is just the start of, what I'm trying to create. There's still artwork that's going to go in here. We're still going to come back in with some more the brighter silver and stuff, and just give it more contrast, more depth, and yeah, this. And I tell people all the time, it has to start ugly before it gets pretty.
Right.
And, I mean, that's anything. I mean, think about it. Even in the collision world.
That's how it always starts off, Now let me get my sponge and let me show some folks up close how good of a help I am. I took my glove off. It was just too small for me. All right. Let me come over here to my work of art, and I'm gonna scrub, and you're gonna see the effect. See that? That's cool. You guys can see this up close. Look at that. It just reveals it. Oh, that's amazing. Look at that. You can see it, it'll start to come to come, you can see it here start to really show up. Wow.
So the one thing you'll notice is kind of where you got heavy in some spots.
Right.
You really have to scrub.
Yes, I
get
see that.
off. That's why you want to do super, super light coats.
Right. All right, so I'm fired is what you're saying.
No, I wouldn't call it fired. Just don't let it happen again.
All right.
Listen, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, look
it's
at that.
not repeating those mistakes.
Not repeating that. Yeah, exactly. Well, the next Sagola project you got, let me know because I'm going to have my turn again.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to scrub some of my really thick paint over here. All right, so everything has been completely wiped off. Now we're gonna go with a different effect. And what do you have in there in the bottle?
So this is just water.
Okay.
And all I'm doing, so since the humidity was a little high and it was kind of against us with the crystals, I'm gonna go ahead and add this second effect. They call it acid etching. So everywhere that the little droplets are, you know, we're gonna lightly dust over, not all of it, but just areas, and then we'll wipe it down and it'll just add to the effect.
All right, so you're gonna go with the two colors after this?
So we're gonna start with the lighter of the two silvers, the brighter one.
Okay.
And then we'll just, you know, we'll adjust accordingly. If it needs the other one, that's what we'll use too. But I'm gonna try not to.
So just regular water, put the color on that you need, see what it looks like, and if we need to go a little bit further, we'll do that. But again, just a different effect to kind of camouflage any of the spots that might not be 100% perfect. We're gonna see how this cool effect works, and I'm really, really excited because this is something I've never seen before, only on TV, and I'm seeing here live in person. I'm gonna let Kat do this part though. We're getting into a spot where it's a little bit more technical. So we're gonna let her do her thing.
There's nothing technical about it.
She's just, honestly, she's cleaning up my mess right now. She's saying it in other terms.
No, don't.
And she's
no,
blaming it on humidity.
He did fine.
Yeah, she's blaming it on the humidity, and she's such a kind person. So let's get to spraying that. We're just gonna wipe it off right after. And remember that not a lot of these spots are gonna be as prominent because they're gonna be covered with artwork. And we're gonna peel back one of these to show you what the orange looks like, because basically anywhere where there's orange, where there's masking, there's gonna be some orange and some gray where there's the tape line. So this is gonna come out really good. And we're just gonna give you that little teaser of what it's gonna look like as and we're gonna give you just that little teaser of what it's gonna look like before it's all completely done. As we pull it back, we can see that Lamborghini orange. Wow, that's so bright. Look at that, holy cow. That is insane.
So this is still very, very unfinished.
Right.
I still got to add the artwork on the inside of here. I still got to add the artwork in the orange, drop shadows, pinstriping. There is a lot that's going into this, but you saw how dull and boring this was by itself.
Yes.
You throw these different colors in it, and it just,
It's gonna
in
pop.
my opinion, I think it's going to look amazing.
This is gonna pop, pop, pop.
And
wow.
so not only that, but this is going to be a satin finish.
Right.
And then all the color is going to be a gloss finish.
Jeez.
So you're going to have that contrasting.
This is gonna look absolutely beautiful. Take a look at this truck, guys, because the next updates you're gonna see, you're gonna want to follow Cat on Instagram, and make sure you're always following Sagola because they're always going to be giving updates. And if you want to see this truck live at SEMA, make sure you check out SEMA this year, 2024. This thing is going to be in its complete stage and look amazing. Trust me, guys, this is super cool. And as Cat pulled off one more piece of tape as a teaser, this is just beautiful. I want to thank you, Cat, for inviting me over to the shop. I love what you got going on here. You're a true talent. Your airbrush skills, your tape skills, makes me feel like an amateur. But man, to be a part of this, the Sagola team really feels good, and I appreciate the invite. Make sure you're gonna check out the whole entire build. Again, Sagola, Cat, really, really cool things coming. So guys, this is Brian from Paint Side reminding you, don't overthink it. It's just paint. We'll see you guys on the next episode.